Wagwan, my people, if you don't know already, I am 23 years old and I make $50,000 a month. But if I lost everything and I had to start again from complete zero, this is the exact business model I would use to do so. This business model is exactly what I use to leave my 9 to 5, start making 5 to 8K a month and focus full time on online business. And it's also something that we have used to teach tons and tons of other kids how to do the exact same thing. And today I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm not going to gatekeep any information. I'm going to equip you with everything you need to go away today and start implementing this and start making money today. The best part about this business model is it doesn't matter where you're at in life. It doesn't matter if you had the worst starting situation ever. It doesn't matter what background you're from. It doesn't matter what your situation is. You can come in and you can use this business model to make money. Now, this video is going to be quite long, so if you're a little dopamine goblin that hates money, you can go now. But if you're actually ready to make some money, then lock in, and I'm going to be making this as concise as I possibly can. I guarantee you, if you watch this and you implement the steps, this will help kickstart your journey, help you start working towards those $10,000 months so that you can eventually get that financial freedom and that locational freedom that you want, all while learning the most valuable skill set ever. Module 1. What is appointment setting? What is appointment setting? What are we actually covering in this video? It's simply just setting appointments. So it's as simple as it sounds. As an appointment setter, your job is to simply speak to potential customers, make sure that what you're selling is a good fit for them, and make sure that they are also a good fit and are able to buy the product. Now, as an appointment setter, you're going to be working in the e-learning space, meaning online coaching, consulting, mentorship, things of this nature. Anyone who sells a coaching offer, a course, or mentorship, these people need someone to sell that offer for them. This is by far the best and easiest way to get into the high ticket space in general, and also to start making money online. And on top of that, you're also going to be helping other people level up and achieve the things that they want to achieve in life. That's if you're on a good offer that actually gets results. Your job is to help improve people's lives. Now, in saying this, you do not want to get on a shitty offer that does not get people results, because not only are you going to not make any money, you are not going to be able to sleep at night knowing that you're basically scamming people. You won't even be able to sell because you won't have conviction, because you know the thing doesn't work. And even if you do find an offer that is shitty, your lead flow is going to die down so quickly once people realize that it's a shitty offer. So in this video, I'm going to make sure that you are getting on a goldmine offer and an actual good offer by someone who's credible and who knows what they're doing and is actually getting results. Now, I've personally had students come in and start making upwards of $10,000 within their first few months. And now I've worked my way up to a point where I'm making $50,000 by starting with appointment setting. So I promise you this works. I promise you it's not hard. As long as you can focus and as long as you can do the work, this is one of the easiest ways you're ever going to make money. You don't need a degree or certification. All you need is a little bit of training and then a bit of hustle. Then you can start making money, and not like a couple hundred here and there, like serious money, 5 to 8K a month. So we're going to stay in B2C, which is business to customer, because it's far easier to set appointments and close deals in B2C, meaning that you're going to be selling for a business owner or an influencer or someone with a coaching offer. So with this being said, what does this appointment setting actually look like in action? As you can see here in these photos, this is what a normal appointment setting conversation looks like. We're going to use high ticket sales in this example because it's what you guys know and it's what I know. And it's what we're talking about. So they'll first reach out to you with a CTA, whether that's sales, Amazon, e-com, YouTube, whatever different hustle or business model it is, people will reach out with a CTA. So this person would have sent a CTA. They would have then said, hey, then the seller would say, hey, I appreciate you reaching out. Okay. Then they would say, to gauge specific things to get a good understanding, have you been looking into remote sales for a while, or is this the first time? This is the first time, right? So now this person is relatively new. We know that they're relatively new to the game. They might need some extra information, some resources and things like that to make sure they're up to speed. It would be great if you could give me a rundown, pretty new to all this stuff. Explained it to him. Then he said, all right, I get what you mean. Super simple stuff. Are you looking at getting started right now, or are you a bit lost? Yeah, I'd love to start. Been trying to find ways to make money for freedom. Came across your TikTok and it had me interested. No worries, man. There's a bunch of different ways you can go about it. Me personally, when I started, I needed a bit of help. Is that something you feel like you need as well? Yeah, man, that's something I feel like I need. If you could recommend me somewhere where I can get that help, no problem. Once that's done, you then want to send the link to book in the Calendly call and also any pre-call content or resources. Then the last thing you want to do is, once you've sent the link, to completely ghost them. You want to make sure you're keeping the leads warm and making sure that they actually show up to the call. The best thing to do once you've sent the link is follow up multiple times prior to the call, because it's going to increase the show rate. Now, you do this by messaging them and confirming the time of their call and saying, hey man, I'm just wondering, I want to make sure that you're still good for 6 p.m. EST. remember, as a setter, your job is not finished until the call is taken. Don't just send the link and then never worry about it again. It's your job to make sure that that prospect shows up to that call and has the most productive conversation possible. You do this by following up with them, but also getting them excited for the call, making them feel anticipated to actually jump on a call. And you can do this in a bunch of different ways, but a way that I like to do it is by talking up the closer. For example, hey man, you'll be speaking to my main man, Gabe. He's a killer and we'll make sure to take care of you, bro. And that's a way of you building value, anticipation, and making sure that the conversation is as productive as possible. And that is a very basic example of how these conversations go. That's what appointment setting actually looks like in action. But that is your job. That's literally it. Speak to someone, make sure they know what they're doing, make sure they are a good fit. Then once they're a good fit, help them get on the call, make sure they actually show up to the call. That is all you're doing. You're simply sending DMs. It's something that you already do anyway, but now you're going to get paid for it. Now you might be thinking, how much am I actually going to get paid for that? Like, how much do you actually get paid as an appointment setter? You can realistically make up to $10,000 a month as an appointment setter, depending on the offer you are on. I know when I became a setter, I was making between $5,000 to $7,000 a month before I became a closer. Now you're normally making around 5% as a setter. So if you're setting for a $6,000 offer and you set one call a day, that's $300 a day, which is $9,000 a month. So you can see how this is not only an easy way to make money, but it's an easy way that you can literally use to make 6 figures. Module 2. How to become a setting G. So now that you know what appointment setting is, the question becomes, how do you actually become a skilled appointment setter that is going to make these types of commissions? $9,000, $10,000, $12,000 a month. And how do you actually get on a good offer? There are a few key pieces of information that you're trying to extract as an appointment setter. The 4 main pieces of information are the following: commitment, resources, pain, and problem. If you can get these 4 things as an appointment setter, you can then go ahead and book the call and assume that the call is going to be productive. The first one is commitment. How this is done is very simple. It's just like sales, and all it really is a series of questions. When trying to extract the commitment, which is normally the very first part of the conversations, you want to ask questions like, hey, thanks for reaching out. Have you been looking into remote sales for a while now, or is this the first time you've heard of it? I've been looking at getting into it for a while now, man, about 3 months. So now, if someone says they've been looking into something for 3 months, you can tell there is a level of commitment there. This is something that they're clearly interested in, they clearly want to do. If they said this is the first time, I would then ask how good their understanding of it is, help them get a better understanding either by talking to them or sending them resources and courses and things like that for free so that they can actually get their understanding up to scratch before then moving on. Because if you get someone who's not committed, who doesn't even really know what it is on a sales call, they're not going to close, right? And you're going to waste your time and you're going to waste the closer's time. So even if they come to you and they don't really have a good understanding, it can still be your job to get them up to speed and then go ahead and still get that deal closed. Once you've got the commitment and you know they're actually interested in this, then you can go ahead and collect the pain by saying something along the lines of, nice man, so you've been looking into it for quite some time now. What in particular actually attracted you to remote closing or remote sales? I just want to be able to make more money, and I feel like sales is the best way to do that. I'd agree, bro. What is motivating you to make more money? I hate my job, I want more freedom, and I want to be able to look after my family. So now you've got the pain, you've got the why, you know why they're trying to do this in the first place. Then you go into screening and qualifying the prospect for resources. So he just mentioned his job that he hates. So then I would ask, what are you doing for work at the moment? I'm a construction worker. Got you. And how much would you actually need to be making with this to replace that construction income so then you can eventually transfer out of it? Around $8,000 a month. All right, cool. So now they're qualified with the resources, they've got commitment, they've got pain, and you've got all 3 of those things so far. He's making $8,000 a month, so he probably has enough money for the program. Then you would say, I hear that, bro. Let's make it happen. You said you've been looking into this for like 3 months now. What's been holding you back from getting started? I haven't been able to find a client. Do you have experience? I don't. Yeah, neither did I, man. It can be hard to get started with 0 experience. From what you said though, it sounds like you would be a good fit. I can pull some strings and get you on a call with someone from the team to show you how we can help get you that experience and get you on offer ASAP. How does that sound? Send the link, calls booked, and that is what a good setting conversation looks like. Like I said, follow up, make sure they attend the call, make sure that you're giving them all the information that they need and you're exciting them and getting them intrigued in actually taking that call so that they want to be there. So that's as simple as setting truly is. That is what a good conversation looks like. That's how it should go. And those are the 4 key pieces of information you should be collecting: problem, pain, commitment, and resources. If you have those 4 things, you know they're qualified, you know they have the money for the program, you know they actually need the program because they've been struggling so far, you know they're committed to it because they've been looking for it for time, and you know they actually have a why and a reason to do it, because if they don't even have a why, then why would they buy? So that's as simple as setting really is. A few other key things to note when it comes comes to being a G at setting is one, being a human. So a huge mistake I see so many beginner setters make is that they sound like either a robot or they sound retarded. Bad setters make the mistake of just ignoring the prospect completely and what they're saying and just sending messages from a script. If you're speaking to a real person, you need to speak to them like a real person. You can't simply be sending them things for a script if it doesn't make sense and it's not cohesive with the things they are saying to you. They're going to either feel like they're talking to AI or you just don't care about them at all. So beginner setters, when you are having a conversation, realize that the person you're talking to is a real person and speak to them in that way. Listen, ask a specific question about a specific thing, then you'll get a specific answer, then ask a specific question about that answer. This is how you actually have a productive conversation where you extract the information you need. If you're just copying and pasting things from a script, sending it to someone, they're going to sniff it out immediately because everyone's going to say different things, everyone's going to ask different questions, and if you're not answering those correctly, you're going to lose yourself money, you're going to lose the closer's money, you're going to lose the business's money, and you're going to lose your job. So make sure you're on point, make sure you're being a human, and make sure you're extracting the 4 pieces of information I told you to. The second thing when it comes to being a G setter is being active and attentive. The next biggest thing that I see setters do, which ties in with the first thing, if you rush and you start sending lazy messages and trying to do like mass response just by scripting and copying and pasting messages, you're going to do the same thing, burn leads and not make any money. When the lead flow is low, setters will tend to just not do anything. So to be a really, really good setter, you need to be active. You need to be actively listening and reading the messages and responding. Make sure you're fully engaged in each conversation you're having and you're not just blanket statementing everyone. Give each prospect the attention that they need. Read the messages before you respond. I've seen so many setters come in and just not even read and just disregard the messages and send what they think they need to send. Let's say the lead flow isn't as high as normal and it's a bit low. Bad setters will start to complain that the lead flow is low and they start to be lazy. But the truth is, as a setter, you can always keep yourself busy. You can always do something. So follow up with old leads. Start messaging people that you left on read or left on delivered, or people that left you on read or delivered. You can always follow up as a setter and you can always keep yourself busy. And there is a lot of money to be made in the follow-up because sometimes people just simply forget. And that's it. That's how you become a G at setting. It's a mindset thing. It's a focus thing. It is a attention thing. And it is also just not being lazy and actually being completely present with the conversations that you're having. Don't be lazy. Don't be a dopamine goblin. Make money. Module 3, finding the best offer. Now, this is going to be one of the most important parts of this entire process because this is what you're actually selling. This is a thing that you're going to be talking to people about. It's a thing that you're going to be selling. So it's very important to make sure it's not only working really well and getting good results, but that it also has the potential to make you a lot of money. Now, finding a good offer, I mean like a gold mine offer, something that's actually going to make you 6 figures, is a lot harder than people think. Firstly, let's get clear on what a offer is and what it means so you understand exactly what we're talking about. An offer is something the business owner creates to solve a problem, which in our industry is typically coaching, consulting, mentorship, communities, and so on. Why it is important is because it's actually what you are personally going to be selling. You'll often hear things like, oh, I'm on a good offer, I'm on a bad offer. Make sure you get on a good offer. It sounds like you're on a bad offer. A good offer just means that the thing you're selling is good, and vice versa. To give you an example, I'll show you what the first offer that I was on looked like. My first ever offer was an e-commerce mentorship, and it looked like this: $5,000 package, winning product list, video modules, 3 live calls a week, 12 one-on-one calls with the head coaches, 2 one-on-one calls with the mentor, custom Shopify store, community, and there was a bit more stuff in there as well. But this was a goldmine offer because the person who had it was massive, and it was a $5,000 offer. So I could make a lot of money, I could sell a lot, and he was a big, very established creator, so that he had trust, he had people that really, really enjoyed his content, and he had a lot of them. And so basically the offer is just a collection of the things that you're going to deliver to the customer to get them the result that they want. Now, it's important to note that there's all different kinds of offers and they're all different quality. Some of these offers are going to sell extremely well and often, and some of these offers are going to sell poorly and they're going to be complete trash and nobody wants them. And sometimes people will get on an offer, they think it's good, then they get on the offer and there's not even any warm leads and they're just cold outreaching all day to no avail. That's not what you want. We want a good goldmine offer. So not all offers are created equally, which means you need to be able to vet and qualify offers that you actually want to work on so that you don't end up getting on a shitty offer and making no money. Getting on a bad offer is going to suck because this is commission-based sales, right? You only make money if you sell, and if you're on a shitty offer, you're not going to sell, you're not going to make any money, and you're basically going to end up working for free, and we do not want to do that. But on the opposite end of that, if you get on a good offer, you can basically be a person who is simply an order taker, where you just jump on a call, the person already trusts the client, they want to buy, they just want you to basically give them the information and let them in. And that is what's going to happen on a good offer, and you're going to make a lot of money easier than you could imagine. If you can get a really good offer, you're going to get what we call lay down sales, where people just come in and they're basically already sold and you don't even have to do that much work, and that's the goal. All right, so there's two ends of the spectrum, and we want to make sure that you're on the winning end. So how do you know what makes a good and a bad offer? I'll give you the exact criteria of what makes a good offer. The first thing is that it's high ticket, so $3,000 plus. You would be surprised, but it's actually easier to sell higher ticket things than it is to sell cheaper things, because these people have more money, they're more used to buying things that are expensive. So you want something that's over $3,000 because you're going to make more money and you're going to close more deals. The next thing is you want it to be sold by an influencer or a creator with a strong personal brand. Meaning if you can get someone with over 50,000 followers on IG, you're definitely going in the right direction, and they're probably going to have really high lead flow, but make sure their followers are real, because there's people with like 100, 200,000 followers, and then you look at their reels and they're not getting any views. So make sure their content's actually popping, make sure they get likes, engagement, make sure they have a real fan base. But if you can get someone with a real fan base of over 50,000 people, they will definitely be able to make you a lot of money. Not only that, but you want someone who is omnipresent. So when someone has a strong personal brand, they're not just on Instagram, they're not just on TikTok, they're on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, everything. You want someone who's across everything, because that means you're going to have leads coming in from everywhere and you're going to make a ton more money. Then you also want an offer that has consistent call volume, right? How many leads are actually getting booked into the calendar, because that's how many calls you're going to take, close, get money paid for. If the business is making like 100 to 200, 300K a month or more, it means the sales call is also making a lot of money. So are the appointment setters, because they are closing a lot of deals. Now, understand that you only need to get one of these goldmine offers to completely change your life forever. Once you get on these offers, literally everything's going to change. I was able to get onto one of these offers basically straight away because I joined a sales agency and they had the connections. And once I proved myself and did the work and showed that I was trained and I was ready to take calls, they had the connections and I got straight onto a good offer, and I basically boosted myself to $10,000 a month really quickly. And you can do the exact same thing. Realize that literally the only thing between you and your first 10K month is just getting on one of these offers. So I want to give you guys some examples of the people out there that we've worked for and that we've been sales reps for. So Nathan's a good example. He's an e-commerce G. He has a very clean Instagram. He has a big personal brand, following of over 150K. On top of this, his YouTube is massive as well. And this will come with really good call volume and lead flow, which he does hundreds and thousands of dollars a month, which means his sales team is also making a bunch of money. Next example, David, a YouTube automation G. He's also doing hundreds of thousands a month, almost 300K on Instagram there. Clearly, all of these guys have really strong personal brands. You can see the link in the bio as well, which is to their booking a call. And as I mentioned before, all these guys are omnipresent. So you go look at any of these guys, they're going to be big on YouTube, big on IG, big on TikTok, all of it. These could all be considered goldmine offers. So how do you actually manage to get onto one of these offers? I will tell you how I did it, and then I'll tell you also some other ways to do it if you want to go down that path. So the first method, and what I've spoken about on this channel before, is simply outreach. All this is finding a person directly, whether it be through Instagram or school. This is exactly how you would do that outreach once you have the person that you want to message. The first thing you want to do is make it something personal. You do not want to message someone with a ton of followers with some generic message, because you're simply going to get swipe delete out of there and forgotten about forever. One of the best methods to do this is by actually watching their content. Nathan, for example, he has podcasts with a bunch of different people. So if I wanted to message Nathan, I wouldn't say, hey, can I be an appointment setter for you? I would say, hey, Nathan, just finished watching your podcast with Luke. Crazy value. Really like what you said about X. Been following you for a while now, and I really like what you're building. I know you're super busy right now, so I just wanted to reach out to see if you could use another killer on your sales team. I can get it in the DMs or I can close. Let me know. And that's it. That is the direct outreach method. You can rinse and repeat as many times as you want with as many different clients, just simply changing the names and whatever content you're referring to. Now, another way which is actually new that you can use to find these people is through Skool, which is a paid community platform. It's made by Sam Ovens, and you probably have seen Alex Hormozi recently bought half of the company. So now you've got two really big names going together for this new platform, and it's going to be a really good way for you to find high ticket offers and clients. So what I've done here is I've pulled up the homepage of Skool, school, and this is literally a complete cheat code because this will give you endless paid communities that you could end up potentially becoming a setter for. All you do is go up here at the top and it gives you the niches, so you can literally pick your niche that you want to work in, find the biggest and best communities in that niche. But not only that, it gives you who runs it, and then you can just go to their Instagrams, do the same direct outreach method I just went over. This group, for example, this guy's one of the biggest personal development communities. He's only got 1,000 followers on Instagram, so he's probably very likely to message you back, as his DMs aren't as flooded as someone like mine's or Nathan's. So that is how easy it is for you to find a bunch of different people who you can work for. Now, the next method is the one that I used to basically land all my roles this far, and it's what I would suggest to anyone because it is far easier than anything else, especially to get on a goldmine offer. I would be lying if I said I got my roles by doing a ton of cold outreach. That's not what I did. This is by far the most powerful way to get on really good offers, and it is going to be through networking and connections. Now, what do I mean by that? So I'm going to show you right now a few ways that me and all my students have been able to get really good opportunities using these methods, and not only that, but having these business owners and influencers reach out to us asking us to be a sales rep on their team, which is basically unheard of. The first way, and what I did, was just being in a agency like ours. This is how I got my first role that got me to those $10,000 a month. That was a goldmine offer. I joined the sales agency. They worked with clients, automating their sales process, big influencers with really strong personal brands. I came in, I got trained by them. Then because they trained me, they knew I was quality, and they were willing to get me on one of those goldmine offers because they knew I was going to make the money. So you can see, by joining one of these communities and having these networks and having these connections, you then begin to absorb other connections of people who have been in the space for longer than you, and then you get to start to implement yourself in these businesses that are established. If you don't want to do that, another thing that we suggest to all our students anyway is to just build your own personal brand. This is something I personally did, and when I did start doing it, I had tons and tons of business owners and influencers reaching out to me saying, can you be a closer for our team, or do you know anyone that wants to be a closer or an appointment setter for our team? So not only did I make way more money when I started posting content and building a personal brand, but I got more opportunities, I got more respected, I got more status, I got more credibility, I got more authority. And I even had influencers with hundreds and thousands of followers reaching out to me saying, we need setters, we need closers, we want someone from you or your team. Now, I do have another video going into how to post content and build a personal brand, and that will be in the description. Now, when you post content, even if you've only got 1,000, 2,000 followers, if someone sees that content and then you reach out and you ask to be hired by them, the chances that they hire you is going to be far higher because they already know who you are, they already know what you're about. You're not just some random reaching out asking for a job. Guys, I'm telling you, so many of our students have been reached out to simply because they post content. If you knew some of the names that have reached out to some of our students just because they post content and have a little personal brand with like 5,000 followers, you would be amazed. This takes time, it takes consistency to actually build a personal brand, but if you do that, then the opportunities all start to open up for you. Module 4, how to overperform and explode your income. Now, I'm just going to tell you a few extra things that you can do to outperform everyone in your sales team and maximize your commissions so that you explode your income. The first thing is build internal relationships. What do I mean by this? You and your sales team are exactly that, a team. You need to work together in order for everyone to make as much money as possible, especially between the closers and the setters. Remember, as a setter, what you're doing is you're basically alley-ooping to the closer. But in order for the closer to actually dunk, you need to get the best possible alley-oop, and you do that by having the best possible setting conversation, getting all the information you need, qualifying the prospect so that by the time it gets to the closer, he already knows everything he needs to know. He knows it's qualified. He knows how much money they have so that he can simply close the deal. You need to be qualifying the prospects correctly so that the closers aren't getting on a bunch of sales calls with unqualified prospects, uncommitted or uninterested prospects, because then you're going to waste their time, you're going to waste your time, you're going to lose everyone money, and nobody's going to like you. Like I said before, it is your job as the setter to make sure they have the most productive conversation possible. And how you do this is by making sure that you have really good communication between you and the closer. A sales team is a team for everyone to make as much money as possible. Everyone needs to be performing at their best. In my sales teams, how we did this is we always had group chats with the setters, the closers, and the business owner. You would always convey any sort of message, any sort of problem, any sort of opportunity to each other as soon as possible. If anyone did a no-show, if anyone needed to be followed up with, if anyone dipped off the call, you would always communicate that in that group chat, and everyone would know exactly what's going on, at what time, and what needed to happen in order to make money. This way you can easily communicate to the entire sales team as a setter, have these group chats, be able to message your closers at any time, and this is going to maximize your commissions. As a setter, like I previously said, another way to maximize your commissions is by understanding that it is your job and your responsibility to make sure that that prospect actually shows up to the call. Like I said, you do this by following up, building anticipation, and you also do this by identifying their current situation and their desired end situation. And by you placing the call as the bridge between those two things, you then get to make sure that they want to show up to that call because it's going to get them to where they want to be. Do those two things, make sure they feel like they need to show up to the call, and also make sure that they're excited to show up to the call. As I said, you're not actually selling anything, but what you are selling is the call. It's your job as a setter to sell the call, build it up. For example, let's say you're speaking to someone and you're talking about the call and you want to be able to tell if they're actually interested or they're not interested. If prospects say things like, "Thank you, bro, I'm super excited to get started. Thank you for the opportunity. I can't wait to jump on this call. I've been wanting to do this for ages." Green flag, right? They're obviously interested. They're obviously excited. They want to get started. If the prospect's like, "Yeah, man, I guess I'm free tomorrow at like 3 maybe," that's a red flag. They're like clearly not that interested. They're clearly not that committed. So then I would follow up with saying, "Hey man, I just want to make sure, is this something like you actually want to do?" "Yeah man, I actually want to do this." Or, "Yeah, I just got this on my mind," or, "I got that on my mind." Then you're going to be able to kind of pick up and see if there's a gap that you need to close, if there's something that they're concerned about. But you want to make sure that this is something they're actually interested in, because if you book in someone who's kind of 50-50, they're probably not going to show up to the call. And even if they do show up to the call, they're not going to close. It's your job to build that anticipation, make sure they're committed, make sure this is something they actually want to do. Now, another way to increase the show rate is by double confirming the time that they're going to be attending in their time zone before the call. And it would be as simple as this: "Hey man, just confirming that you're still available for 6 p.m. EST on Friday." "Yeah man, for sure, I'll be there." "Easy as, bro. Is there anything else that could pop up that would prevent you from making it?" Or, "No, not at all, bro." Boom. That way you just double confirmed in their time zone. Now they really have no reason to not make that call, and they should be attending, which means you have more chance of making money. Just this simple exchange will increase the show rate significantly, as it builds importance, builds that relationship, keeps the prospect warm, keeps them excited, and makes sure that they know when it is and they're going to attend. Now, once you master this, guys, this is what can happen. Literally in a few months after joining Ash, I went from working in the mines, literally underground, doing like insane heavy lifting, things of this nature, to moving to the tropics, buying a goat. And appointment setting is a thing that he used to leave his mining job, transition out of, and eventually move to the tropics. In a few months, guys, a few months, this happened. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Everything can change instantaneously to anyone who can just pick up a phone and send a few DMs. Or Kai, this kid is 18, guys. I actually took this guy's call. I took his call. He was 18. He sounded nervous as hell, and I ended up getting him on board. And now he started as an appointment setter, got out of his construction job, and this just goes to show that it doesn't matter what age you are, who you are, what background you come from. He's making insane money with this right now, guys. So once again, your situation can absolutely change in just a few months by simply picking up your phone and sending DMs. Bro, understand that those ideas, those dreams that you have in your head, they're not as far away as you think they are. I'm telling you from experience, I was dead broke less than 2 years ago, and now I make $50,000 a month. I just got back from Japan. I'm about to go to Dubai, then Thailand, then do whatever I want for the rest of my life, because of starting with this business model, which allowed me to get out of my job and stack cash. I get to live the life I want to live at 23, bro. Not many people get to say that, but you can. And it has never been easier. If you just lock in, tunnel vision, you can make this work. Now, these are all students that we've worked with, but in this video, I just equipped you with everything you need to know to go ahead, get started with appointment setting, leave your job if you have one, make more money than you've ever seen before. However, 99% of you didn't even make it to the end of this video. All the dopamine goblins are gone. If you're still watching this, it means you're genuinely committed and you're genuinely serious about getting started with this. But the thing is, there is so much information out there. I know when I started, it was almost too much information, but I don't think information is the problem. If you want to take the information I've given you and go try to start on your own, absolutely be my guest if you think that's the best move. However, understand that in doing this, you're still going to be fending for yourself. You're going to be trying to find an offer with no experience. You're going to be doing your own trial and error. You're not going to have any connections. You're not going to have any experience or knowledge of the space whatsoever. And on top of that, you're not going to have anyone holding you accountable. You're not going to be having anyone there for when things go wrong and you don't know, and then you end up quitting. And like I said, I would be lying to you if I said I did this on my own. If you know anything about my story, you know I personally got a mentor, and through those connections, I was able to get clients and gold mine offers, and and that's why I accelerated to where I am so quickly. And not only that, but even when I did get on board and I was lacking, he would get on a call with me and abuse me to hold me accountable so that I kept working and I kept making money. And I can tell you with 100% certainty that having people around me and having a community around me and having someone that had walked the path before me tell me exactly what to do is the reason that I am here today. Guys, there's so many coaches and sales and copywriting coaches out there, but all these coaches are like 18, 20-year-old kids who learn from a course, from someone that learned from a course. It is very, very rare for you to be able to learn from the source. Someone who's had over 10 plus years of experience, not a kid, someone who's actually been doing this and is one of the first people to do it. The person I learned from the source. I didn't buy a course from someone that bought a course from someone that bought a course. No, I got a mentor who is one of the OGs. Learn from the source and you're going to be able to crush it. When I realized that I could do everything on my own, but it would cost me to quit or just cost me years of development, I went to the source. I found a person with the experience, with the receipts, with the results, and I learned directly from them. The amount of people that reach out to me and say, hey, I've been trying to get a setting or a closing role for ages and I can't seem to get one. You have no experience, you have no connections, you have no reason to be hired. This is the issue. Remember when I said I got into a Goldmine offer straight away? This was because I had connections, I had training, I had experience. I had a mentor, I had skin in the game. I know I needed to make it work. I had community, I had accountability, I had these things. Go ahead and do it on your own if you want, but it would be disingenuous of me to tell you that that is the best option. When these people who have been struggling and they've been like, oh, I've been looking for a closing or a setting role for months and months and months, I can't get hired. Once they come on board, everything starts to click. They have experience, they have training, they have connections, everything starts to work. Why is that? Because they absorb all the connections and all the knowledge of someone who's done it before. But don't listen to me, read all these, listen to the people who have actually taken that step. Now, most of these results that you're seeing are from people my age or younger who started with no experience, no capital, no knowledge. You'll see numbers like 5K, 8K a month in the first month. How is there such insane results? Because of all the things I just described. Learning from the source, learning from the best, being held accountable, being pushed to perform your best. Now, if you're still watching this, I know you're committed. I know you're serious, and because of that, I want to make sure that you have the same opportunity that I had, to have the same mentorship, the same guidance, the same community, the same information and knowledge that I had access to when I started. I want you guys to have the same opportunity that I had to get to where I am today. So in the description, there is a link to book in a call. You making it this far through the video has qualified you for that call. So if you want, go ahead and book in. Best of luck. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Appreciate the love. Your journey begins now.